Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Jessica Luxe, and insert shameless plug for Instagram here. That is my main platform. That's where I upload the most, and so if you want to see more of me, best to find me over there. So speaking of Instagram, I put up a message on my stories asking you guys to send me any questions that you have about social media, about the influencer industry, and that I would do my best to answer all of those questions in a little video for you. So this video is going to be a Q&A about everything to do with social media, about brands, about content creation, and without further ado, let's just jump into these questions because I'm really excited to answer them. So the very first question is, what do you use to edit your photos? So my workflow is something that I don't really share because I feel like it's unique to every person. It's kind of like your fingerprint in a sense. And I do have a process wherein I'm editing my photos. I first import them to my desktop and run them through Lightroom. A lot of the photos that you see on Instagram, at least in the last couple months, I've edited them all myself, so they're all my own personal Lightroom presets, which I do also have for sale on my Etsy. And so I start with editing there, and then I export all of the final photos to my phone, and then I run them through Filter Loop and Facetune, possibly Retouch or Snapseed if I need to make some little changes on the phone, like erase people or make the photo bigger. But without all the extras, my workflow goes from Lightroom to Facetune to Filter Loop to Instagram. Okay, the second question is a really good one, and this is something that I was not quite the victim of because I never accepted this kind of deal, but it's definitely something that I've seen a lot of. I've learned to stay away from at all costs. It's the biggest red flag. Do not touch these deals. But someone's asking, should I take this affiliate deal with a brand? And here's the ask, and you tell me if this sounds good to you. So basically the ask from the brand is that first they will give you a discount to buy their products, and then you need to promote those products on Instagram. And for each item that you sell from someone using your promo code, you make 10% commission. I love when you guys bring me these brand deals because I can always give you the best advice on how to proceed. And deals like this, you run for the hills. I'm not gonna use the word but it's definitely not what I would call a win-win situation. It's like definitely more of a win-lose. And that's the short answer. The long answer is that a lot of it has to do with calculated risk. So if, for example, you're getting a discounted product, but you still have to spend $20 on it. So how many do I have to sell? How many posts do I have to create and put up on Instagram, other social media websites? How many people do I have to just badger with my promo code in order to make that $20 back? At which point you start making a profit. So already you're starting in a deficit, and you need to work so hard just to break even with that 10% commission, and then you can start making money. And that's just not right because of all the time and effort you're putting into creating your content, not to mention spamming your audience with it, trying to make your money back. Ugh. These deals give me like the cringes. It's not worth it. Just walk away. If you ever get a deal like this in your inbox, I know it can be really exciting when a brand reaches out to you, they're in your DMs, they want to work with you, but just put yourself first, read the fine print, ask yourself if it's worth it, because in the long run, it is much more beneficial to your brand, to your growth, to just wait for the right deal to come along than just take the first deal that lands in your lap. Short answer is no, long answer is what I just said. So these deals, Alright, the second question is, what do you use to edit your stories? So there are a couple different apps that I use on my stories. First one is the Huji app, which I'm sure you all already know by now. And I did buy the Pro version where I can upload my own photos, because in the standard version, you have to take the photos in the app to get the effect. But in the Pro version, you can take photos on your phone and then upload them through the edit later, which is much more beneficial, especially because it can take the Huji app a second to process your photo. and you know, I'd hate to miss a moment. And so I use the Huji app. I also use another app called Unfold, and this one is great. This is a collage I created. It is 2 photos. These are all examples of stories that I've made using templates that this app comes with. There are 4 styles of templates to choose from. They have different template collections, and each one comes with 15 templates that are perfectly sized for your stories. So they are that 9x16, and so they upload perfectly to your stories. You don't have to worry about cropping or anything. So Unfold is the only one that I'm using right now aside from Huji. So sometimes I'll edit in Huji and upload to my stories, or edit in Huji and then upload to Unfold and then upload to my stories. Those are the 2 apps that I currently use for my Instagram stories to make them pop, to make them snazzy, and I highly recommend both apps. Okay, so the next question is a good one. What do you do if you agree to receive a product and you don't like it? Is it too late to back out? Okay, this is a really good question. So this can happen one of 2 ways. Either you've negotiated with a brand, decided on compensation and deliverables. So deliverables are what you're going to do for the brand in exchange for the compensation. And the other side is when you are doing product for promotional trade. So a brand sends you a nail polish and you agree to do, say, an Instagram post in exchange for receiving that nail polish. And so the question is, what do you do if you agree on everything and then you receive the product and it turns out you don't like it? So I understand how this could be a bit of a tricky situation because, again, if you're really excited about working with a brand, you might feel forced to put this post out even if you don't 100% believe in it. And that is one of the biggest mistakes you could ever make for yourself, for your future, and for your brand. Compromising your integrity is never worth it, especially since the influencer market is so saturated right now. Your reputation should be everything to you. I've gone through this before where you've negotiated, you're about to get paid, and all you have to do is put up this post, but the problem is that the product falls apart or it's just a bad quality product, and it's this big question of, you know, what do I do? And the answer is always going to be, you know, to do the right thing, to maintain your integrity, and don't post anything that you don't fully agree with. And you have to remember that all of the people following you, they trust you. They trust your opinion, and they are depending on you to lead them through the best experience in life, whether it's the best resorts or the best restaurants or the best nail polish. And if you start recommending shoddy resorts and bad quality nail polish, what kind of experience are you giving these people who trust you so much to, you know, be honest with them and be transparent with them? The next time you're faced with a situation where you don't 100% believe in a product, if you wouldn't recommend that product to your mom, do not recommend it to your audience. So what you would do is you email the brand right away. Don't wait. Don't hope that they just won't notice that you don't post, because that's the worst thing you could do. You're going to want to email the brand, let them know right away, let them know your concerns, and also be firm in saying that, you know, I will not be posting about this product. Let me know if you would like me to send it back. I can donate it or whatever. That way you're being honest with the brand. They've also gotten a bit of feedback if their product is not up to par, and you're not going to be cheating anyone out of their next purchase influenced by you. So by no means is it an easy conversation to have when these things come up, because it can be really awkward to accept something and then have to turn back later and say, you know, the product didn't really work out for me. But it's the professional thing to do for the brand involved, for your audience, and for yourself. What camera and lens do you use for Instagram? So the camera and lens that I use for Instagram are the exact same camera and lens that I use for everything else, whether it's a YouTube video, an IGTV video, anything. I have the same set of equipment. My camera is the EOS M3 Compact SLR, and the lens is a 22mm, and that is what I use. It's my really small kit. I also have a Manfrotto three-legged tripod, which I use for filming, like right now, or if I'm taking my own photos, but a lot of the time it's just me, my camera, and my lens shooting my content. And I do love this camera. The quality that comes out of it is really good for Instagram, and it's small enough to fit in your purse. The only downside is that when I'm filming, the focus can be a little bit slow if I'm moving around a lot. So if you're like an action person, I don't think this is the best camera for you. But if you want higher quality photos for your Instagram, this is gonna be a good camera for you to start with. The next question is, how do I get more followers? The age-old question of, how do I get more followers? I get asked this question a lot, you know, how did you get more followers? How do I get more followers? How does everyone get more followers? So I could go on forever about this question, and this is going to be for another video entirely. The short answer is that you've got to give people a reason to follow you. I believe that there are 3 fundamental reasons that people follow other people on Instagram, and they basically break down to number 1 being industry info. So if you're a specialist or an expert in your field and you've got a lot of information about the industry that you're working in that you are sharing or that other people want to know about, they're going to follow you. The second is tutorials. So, you know, makeup tutorials, DIY tutorials, crafting tutorials. You know, you're teaching someone how to do something that they want to know how to do. And the third thing is lifestyle and relatability. So if you relate to your audience really well, if you do a really good job of telling your personal story, and you're a super relatable person, you post super relatable content, you're always like on trend, you know, people will gravitate to that because it resonates with them, and they'll follow you for that reason. The fourth reason is celebrity, and that's just self-explanatory. You know, if you're a celebrity, you know, people will follow you because you're a celebrity. And the last question that I've got today is, how do you post every day? So when it comes to posting every day, now especially because I'm hosting daily giveaways, so it's really important for me to post every single day at the same time. 12 o'clock giveaway, be there on my Instagram. But I post every day because I want to, because I love sharing, because I feel like I have a lot to say, I have a lot to share, and I just want to. I love creating content and sharing my content on my platforms. So if the question is logistically, how do I post every day? It's because I capitalize on opportunities to create content, because I don't wait for other people to help me take my content. Like, I used to rely on other people a lot, and me posting content was like heavily dependent on whether or not I had friends around to take photos with me, etc., etc. And that's still a pretty big part of it, because you can't, like, it's not easy to take photos in public, especially if you want that type of content. I'll get together with people who have similar passions, and we'll shoot each other's outfits, and we'll each bring like 2-3 outfits, and we'll spend a few hours shooting, and then we both have enough content. So that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me answer your questions about social media and the influencer industry. I love talking about it, so if you have any more questions for me, DM me or leave them down below, because I would love to make a follow-up video to this and just get the conversation going, because I have a lot to say and I could go on for hours, but I'm going to cut it short now, and hopefully there will be a part 2 soon. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you learned something, and I will see you next time.